Iowa State basketball might win a national championship, and the referees in the Big 12 absolutely suck again. I don't know if you watched UCF and Oklahoma State in Stillwater, but I hope for your sake that you didn't and your children didn't, because it will ruin your life and their lives. It was dismal, piss poor, awful. I will tell you why I think Iowa State can win a national championship based off not just last night, but overall season analytics. But first, Oklahoma State shot 30 free throws. UCF shot 36 free throws. That is 66 combined free throws that were shot in this game. 26 fouls against UCF, 28 fouls against Oklahoma State, 54 overall. That is unwatchable. That is a product that does not match the skill. Two teams that are still good. UCF is still a good basketball team, a competent basketball team. Oklahoma State still has talent. They still have, I mean, they're going to fire their coach, but it's a Big 12 team. They would win any league outside of the Power 5, right? That it makes it like, I just want to watch a good game, and they ruin it. That's my fun aside. Iowa State is so insanely good. The defense against Oklahoma was criminal. It's tough to put into words just how suffocating Iowa State is on that side of the ball. 58-45 final score, holding the Sooners to 45. The last time that Oklahoma will play in Hilton Coliseum was a huge, dominating defensive win for Iowa State. Watching this game, it is, if you're a basketball casual, it is boring because you have to appreciate defense in its finest art. And it's not just forcing turnovers. It is making Oklahoma shoot awful shots. They only made 15 field goals in this game. They only turned the ball over 14 times. That's honestly not that bad. Iowa State turned it over 8 times. The ball control offensively is great. Oklahoma turning it over 14 times isn't egregious necessarily, but they only got 18 points in the paint. They only got, again, 15 shots off. They were 3 for 17 from 3 and 15 for 46 overall. Iowa State shot the ball 17 more times than Oklahoma. They forced the Sooners late into the shot clock and just looked superb. Iowa State had just 2 starters play over 30 minutes in this game as well. One of those obviously being Tamin Lipsey, and I've said this on 2 podcasts, now 3 podcasts before with Locked On Big 12. Even when Tamin Lipsey is not the best player on the floor, even when he has an off night to the tune of 2 for 13, 0 for 3 from the three-point line, doesn't stand on double-digit points, only puts up 8. Not a single Iowa State starter scored double digits last night, by the way. Even when that happens with Tamin Lipsey, they're still elite. Demarion Watson is right there to clean things up for you. I came off the bench last night, and there are 8 guys that can contribute on the defensive side of the ball for the Cyclones. They are, and Tamin Lipsey being one of them, even when his offense is not superb, his defense is nuts. And I don't know if I can explain to you how magical it is to watch Iowa State basketball. I know I'm seeing wax poetic about them when Houston might be, this is a point to make. Sorry, Iowa State fans, throw this one in there. Houston might be the greatest Big 12 team from a metric standpoint of all time. They might end this season as the greatest Big 12 team in history based on their current analytics. According to shot quality, they're the number 1 team in the country defensively. They are number 5 in the country in adjusted offense and number 1 in the country in adjusted shot quality. They are 0.05 plus ahead of the next highest team, Alabama. You think, 0.05 is not that much. Well, that 0.05 gap goes all the way from Alabama down to Auburn, 12 spots below it. That's how big the gap is. Houston to Alabama is the same gap from Alabama at number 2 to Auburn at number 12. That's a pretty good jump. Houston is insane. But again, this isn't about Houston. It's about Iowa State, who, by the way, according to shot quality, Iowa State also ranked below Baylor, who is 5th defensively and 18th offensively according to shot quality, and BYU, who's 23rd defensively and 9th offensively. For Iowa State, this is a team that is 48th in offensive rebounding in America, according to shot quality, 2nd in the country, 2nd in turnovers forced via percentage, 2nd in fewest shots allowed defensively at the rim. And you saw that with their nuts lane defense against Oklahoma. And they also are 30th in the country offensively in passing and efficient transition. They're 42nd. This is a team in the top 50 in some of the most key categories because they're defensive going into March. And that's why, with the leadership of Taman Lipsey, I think Iowa State might be the most dangerous team. They give you endless defense, which I know Houston has that too with a better offense. They give you endless defense, and they've been here. The question I have for Houston is one I don't have to have for Iowa State. That question is, after a full season in the Big 12, after your first full season in the Big 12, you've really gotten to experience what this gauntlet is and what it means to be a power conference team. Can you sustain through March Madness? Is Houston built to withstand March? Now, on analytically, yes, but we haven't seen them go through an entire Big 12 season, hit the gauntlet, and then have to play in this single elimination format. That being said, Iowa State doesn't have that problem. They're chilling. They've seen Big 12 action before. Taman Lipsey, again, when he's not the all-star superstar, is still so good that this team scares me. I don't care who I am. And I think Iowa State has such a good shot to win in March because the question of whether or not they can load manage, whether or not they can be ready for March is not one you have to ask because they've been in the Big 12. For Houston, it's, how do they adjust? How do they look? What is the wear and tear moving forward? Iowa State, not so. Not so. I think they're good. I think they're better than good. And the Big 12 referees have got to get better than good. Ugh. Can Brett Yormark just address this in the offseason, please? He fined Mac Rhodes $25,000. Let the kids storm the court, make the referees better. I know I'm the old man, get off my lawn. Jay Billis is wrong. Seth Greenberg is wrong. All these guys are missing the wrong. They are talking about the wrong things. We shouldn't be talking about court storming right now when there's a much bigger issue over in the Big 12 and its officials just being terrible at their jobs. Ugh, it's the worst. Coming up, sports. Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel's where I go to make money. I saw last night that South Carolina was an underdog at Texas A&M. And if you know anything about Texas A&M basketball, they suck, and South Carolina is good. So I said, I'll bet on South Carolina. They were 5.5-point underdogs. I took their money line, and it hit. South Carolina won. So FanDuel, you know what they do? They give me money. That's why I use FanDuel, and you should use FanDuel too. FanDuel.com/locked on. Bet $5 on the money line of your team to win. And if your team actually wins, you get $150 in bonus bets. FanDuel.com/locked on to shoot your shot. Quick bets, live same game parlays, exclusive props, and more. Do it with the NBA. Do it with March Madness. Do it all with this special promo. $5 down on a money line for your team to win. And if they win at FanDuel.com/locked on, you get $150 in bonus bets. Can't find it much better than that. FanDuel, the official sports book of the NBA. All right, that'll do it for today. Cutting it a little bit short because those two segments were long and passionate. Exactly like I like it. Iowa State is stupid good. ESPN and greed is intent on killing the Big 12 and the ACC by saying, hey, you take a backseat to what the Big 10 and the SEC are. And when that happens, when we have the actual college football playoff committee saying you two aren't good enough to play with the big boys the way the big boys play, that is when we kill everything that I know and love about college football, and it's when Locked On Big 12 is in danger. What can I host next? Locked On Mississippi State is open, I think. I might have to go over there. Bulldogs. Like one of those bells, what do they use? Cowbells? Maybe? I don't know. I hope we don't have to have that conversation, but if the Big 12 is like, we're just putting those two on a pedestal, the SEC and the Big 10. What's new? Makes them money. I get it. This has been, always will be, Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.